Hi, friends, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Rebecca, and I am so glad to have you here. I'm a little bit sad today because I have not been able to bring you any content for about a week now. And I had so much fall and Thanksgiving decor to bring to you, but unfortunately, I fell really sick last week. I thought for an intro to this video, I would just show you some of my fall decor that I have out. I have not switched over to Christmas. I won't do that until after Thanksgiving since I am hosting it at my home. Um, but let me know if you would still be interested in a couple more fall decor videos. Otherwise, I'll probably jump right into Christmas because I already feel like I'm a little behind on that. Unless there are people still wanting it. Again, I feel so sad because I missed a whole week that I could have been getting this out to you. But thankfully, a week later, and I am finally starting to feel a little bit better. So hopefully, it's all um, downhill from here because downhill's easier, even though uphill sounds better. But anyways, I hope you enjoy the DIYs I'm bringing you today. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will today. I hope you'll be inspired to create something and decide to stick around to see some of the exciting things I plan on bringing you in the days to come. So here we go, folks. Let's just go ahead and jump right into today's DIY. So for our first project, we are going to use this gold charger that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, along with these little stickers that I got from the Target dollar spot or bullseye. I think that's what that's called. I am going to start by using my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, and I'm going to paint the inside part of the charger. It was actually pretty easy to freehand the circle. And thankfully, because of the style of the plate, it only took one coat. Once it is dried, then I'm going to take these little stickers that I picked up from Target. And this is actually a really good deal. It comes with 3 different designs for $3. And this gold one matched my gold charger plate perfectly. I thought it was an absolute perfect fit. So I'm actually going to stick it on the exact same way I would if I had printed something from my Cricut. I use the transfer paper. It's actually contact paper that I pick up from the Dollar Tree. I honestly feel like it actually works better than the expensive Cricut brand contact paper. So I recommend picking up a roll of that because it's easy to help you apply stickers more evenly without them getting messed up or coming apart or pulling, or just it makes it much easier to apply. Now, I actually didn't cut the contact paper to the full size of the sticker because I was originally going to put the wording on and then put the leaves that come with the sticker pack myself. And I ended up just going ahead and transferring them on at the same time, except for one of them, the one that the sheet did not pick up, and it worked out perfectly anyways. And I just want to add that I really loved the way the black paint went over the little elevated leaves on the charger. It just added to the design even more because they kind of pop off the back area of where you see the stickers, and I think it ended up turning out really gorgeous. So once I get all of the stickers on, I'm just going to look and make sure I didn't peel off any paint. It's chalk paint, so it don't peel off very easily. There was one spot I don't think I had covered very well. So I'm just going to take that black paint and touch up a little bit there, and it was perfect. And then I did decide that I wanted to put a layer of Mod Podge over everything that I painted, including the stickers. So that way, if it gets dusty, I can wipe it off easier, and it'll just be a lot easier to take care of and to maintain. So for this next DIY, we're going to use this sign that we picked up from the Dollar Tree and the little sticker pack, again from Target. I'm just going to I thought I was going to just sand the glitter off on this sign, and it was really a little tough. So I did end up trying to use some Goo Gone to get it off. And if I would have scraped it a little bit harder, I probably would have been able to get a little bit more of it off than what I did. But frankly, for what I was using it for, I was able to get enough off for it to work just fine because I just didn't want us to be able to see it through the scrapbook paper. And I'm going to go ahead and paint over it just for an added layer of protection. So that way, if my scrapbook paper is a little bit too thin, we can't see through it. So I am taking my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. And because it's chalk paint, thankfully, I only had to give it 2 coats around the edges, definitely around the edges, because that's what you will see. And the front, you probably only would need to give 1 coat. I don't know if I should say this or not, but when I was working on this project, I actually didn't know how it was going to turn out. There were times where I thought this may not end up looking very good, and I actually fell in love with it. When it got done, I just absolutely loved the way the colors on this scrapbook paper with the pumpkins. You can see the scrapbook paper that I'm just cutting out right now, and I'm going to Mod Podge it on. And the way the wording from the Target stickers and the colors from those pumpkins, I just actually really love this. It turned out much cuter than I even expected. So that's always good when that happens. So again, like I said, I'm just going to Mod Podge my scrapbook paper onto the front. I only put the layer of Mod Podge underneath. I don't need it on top. There shouldn't be any reason for me to need that because in a little bit I am going to sand down the edges to make sure the scrapbook paper is perfectly smooth. And on the stickers, I did only want to use fall is my favorite. I didn't want the harvest to me. I just thought that was kind of odd. Fall is my favorite harvest. I don't know. I thought that was a little weird. So I just wanted fall is my favorite. So I cut off harvest, sat it aside so I can use it for another project. And again, like I said, I just wanted to sand down the edges to make sure they blended in really well. I wanted this to look like it was all one. I didn't want it to be evident that there's even a piece of scrapbook paper on the front. And then I'm going to apply the stickers the exact same way I did on the charger plate. Normally, I do like to use something. You can see I'm using a pumpkin here because it was right next to me. Usually, I'll use a credit card or the little thing that I have for my Cricut to just make sure if you do what I just did there, it just makes sure that the stickers adhere to the transfer paper much easier. And then I always do a little bit on the back side because it pulls off better as well. And then I have this little raffia bow, and I have this little metal leaf that was set aside, I believe, from a project last year. And I thought it would be an adorable little finishing touch for my sign. So I thought this end result was really cute. You'll have to let me know in the comments below which DIY was your favorite today. I'd love to know. Okay, so our last DIY today, I am using the sign I have left over from Valentine's Day. But frankly, they have these signs out at the Dollar Tree for every season. You can go get some at Christmas time. They have these long signs, I think, for every holiday. I just filled in the holes and then I'm coloring the backside right now with my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. You all, I am so excited about this DIY. I almost originally had a whole separate video just for this one DIY because it is a long one. It's a pretty big project once you see it all. But I'm really enthusiastic about this one. So I really hope you all end up loving it just as much as I loved making it, and that I am going to love actually even just using it in my own home. Not for one season, but for two. So just wait and see what we're going to make here. So if you remember on the front side of this love sign, there were little engraves, almost like it looked like fake planks. So I was just going where those lines were and bringing that line around to the back so that way it would match. And then I'm just drawing it across. I was hoping where the little painter stick curves there, I would be able to just go straight myself, but I'm just evening that out and I'm going to make fake looking shiplap planks, whatever you want to call it, on the back side as well. So once I have the ink pen lines, then I'm going over them with a Sharpie. I know it will seem really dark to start, but the end result looks really well. I really love this method. I've done it more than once, done it on multiple projects that I currently have hanging up in my home. And I just really love the end result because it really does look like shiplap. You don't look at it and at all think, oh, that's just marker or that's just lines. So once we get our lines drawn here, we're going to go back again with the Waverly chalk paint and plaster. Now, I should have said when I did the first coat, I literally only did one coat. You can still see, and as you can see sitting here staring at the wood, you could still see some of that wood grain through it. That's what I wanted because I knew we were going to come back in now with another thin coat. So I didn't want it too thick to get started. And make sure the coat that you do now is thin, especially when you are going over those black lines because you want to see them. You want some of that to stand out. You don't want it all covered up. Then I am going to take my antique wax and I am just going to dry brush it along the edges. I'm going to dry brush over the lines that we made, again, just to make it look like darker spots on the wood. I started off with quite a bit on my brush, so I didn't even have to reapply it for a while, and I'm just rubbing it in the best I can. Then I'm going to go in with a very light sanding. I'm using just a very fine grit sandpaper, and I'm just giving it a light sanding to lighten up the antique wax so that way it blends in with the plaster paint more and that it looks all like it's just one solid piece of wood. So I'm setting that aside to dry, and I'm going to take this 5 pack of owls that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I want to try and create the greenish blue color that you see on the pumpkin here. I have that here for a reason. That is the color I would like to come as close to as possible on the paint that I am going to do for a couple of my owls. So I am just going to mix the blue that you just saw there, a little bit of that plaster, my Waverly plaster, and then I added a little bit of the Christmas green here. And I thought I was going to have to do a little more work, and it actually ended up being really, really close. I couldn't believe how close just those 3 colors got my paint to be the same color as this pumpkin. So now we are going to color 2 of the owls in this color, blue greenish color. I should also add that I did take some spackling and fill in the holes because these are initially intended to be ornaments, I guess. You will also see that I am taking a little bit of the extra plaster color paint that I had there and just kind of blending it in, giving it a dry brush look. It really just added to the look. I thought it was really cute. Just finished the look on the owls. Once I have the 2 in that color painted, I am going to do the other 3 in my antique wax. So just give them a good coat. You only need to do the front because they're going to be glued down and you will not see the backs. Now I'm just lining them up the way that I'm going to want them on my board here, on my sign. I want my A to be in the different color, and then I want the end one. We are going to spell out the word fall on here. So that last one is actually not going to have a letter on it. So I'm using E6000 to put these down in place because I want this to last a while. I want this to be a permanent sign. And I was just sometimes worried about hot glue. So I just went straight for the E6000. And here I'm just showing you how I put something heavy on each owl to help them really stay firm. So now I have these stickers. They're poster board stickers that you can actually get from the Dollar Tree. And I am going to paint the letters that I need to spell out fall. I'm going to paint them in the color ink. If you haven't seen someone color poster board stickers, it's a great idea, a great way to get stickers in whatever color you need. So you don't ever have to worry about not being able to find the color you need in a store. And my goal today in today's video, I should have said early on, was to actually show you how there are so many options out there if you don't have something like a Cricut or Silhouette. And every option in this video, I used stickers that you would typically get from a Cricut or a Silhouette that we got from the Target, and they were some of them were only $1, some were 3, but it comes with a pack of 3. And then this is poster board stickers. There are so many options out there. You do not have to feel like you need one of those expensive cutting machines. I know how expensive those are. So I'm just taking these stickers and putting them in place to where I want for the word fall. And then I have this wood pack of stickers, little wood leaves, and they are wood, but they're a sticker. And I got them from Target. And I'm going to take this one and I am going to kind of give it a stain, which is what you do with the antique wax. I'm just going to rub it on really lightly. I really want you to be able to still see the lines in the leaf. And I thought this would pop off of the tealish color owl really well. Okay, so now we're going to get to another really exciting part of this sign. We're going to flip it over and we are going to give originally the front side of this sign. Now we are going to make sure we give it a good coat of the chalk paint and the color plaster. Now, in order to color those red letters over, I did, even with chalk paint, I probably had to cover those areas 3 times, I believe, maybe. And then there were little areas of the red I still had to touch up a little bit. So give it a really good coat to make sure that's all nice and covered up. And if you are liking my DIYs so far, if you're enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment down below and let me know that you enjoyed it. It really supports my channel, supports me, and gives me some encouragement too. So now next we are going to take another pack of these little wood ornaments, except these are for Christmas. These adorable little stockings that you can get in a 5-pack as well. Now, I originally wasn't sure if I was going to use all 5, but I thought it couldn't hurt to go ahead and do all 5 up. That way I have them if I want them. And I am just using my red apple barrel paint. No need to worry about chalk paint. I don't even know if they have it in red. So I have the red apple barrel, so it worked to give the front, don't need to worry about the back side of these cute little stockings, just the lower part, give them all a good covering. Next, I have this towel that you can actually get in the auto department of the Dollar Tree. And I am going to cut off little pieces to cover the top part of the stocking. So I'm just going to place the first one down, kind of cut around it, making sure I'm leaving enough there so that way I can fold it over and hot glue it all in place. Once I get the exact size that I need for this first stocking, then I am just going to cut enough to do all 5 of the stockings. Once I have them all cut, then I'm just going to use my hot glue gun to glue them in place. All I'm going to do is stick the hot glue on the edges and on the back and fold over that white fabric. It's really easy to do and it's pretty simple. So now we just need to get them placed on our sign. I am using a ruler so that way I know exactly where the halfway point is. And so that way that can be where the middle of that center stocking can be. And then I am using this adorable Christmas ribbon that I got at the Dollar Tree. It's so cute how it has the red and the green. And I just cut out a strip long enough to go the distance of the board. And this is what we are going to glue our stockings to because the stockings need to hang from the fireplace. A couple of them didn't feel all that secure, so I did add a couple little extra dabs of hot glue, and that was it. And then I just cut off the ends because we want to make sure we can't see this when we are using the outside for fall. And then I am tying a couple little knots out of that same ribbon to stick on the end where we cut off the ribbon to stick it on the end. Guess kind of to make it just look like we tied it up on the chimney. Not really sure. That's just what I was thinking. I thought it would give it a more polished look. And I just was so happy with how this was looking already so far. So next we are going to use these stickers that I got from the Dollar Tree. They're the exact same color and style. The only difference is one pack is all capital and one pack is all lowercase, which is actually perfect for what I had in mind because I wanted stockings to stand out in some way. I wasn't for sure if I wanted the wording in a different color or what I wanted, and I was looking through my stickers. This was really all I had, and in a way, it was like God sent because I loved the final result, and it was perfect. I don't know that I could have done anything better. I want so we're gonna have the sign say the stockings were hung. I cut out all the letters and I kept the backings on them so that way I could figure out exactly where I wanted them in place. And then they're stickers, so I'm just going to take the backings of them off and I'm going to get them all put in place. I just love how this sign turned out so much. I love the way it's double-sided. I can use it for fall. I can turn around after fall is done and use it for Christmas. And I think both sides are equally adorable. I just love them both. So I hope you enjoyed it as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and I will be sure and see you all again here real soon.